Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Welcome back to another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. We are glad to be here. Kelly was just telling me before we got started here that it is football season for his kids starting up. And if you've been listening to our podcast long enough, you will know Kelly loves sports, all sports, but particularly football, I think probably has the biggest place in your heart. Is that
big time?
Accurate? Yeah.
Not even close. The best sport on earth.
Oh, I agree. I 100%. We're Nebraska kids, so that's all we got. We love football.
Yep.
But he was kind of talking about how, it's super busy and a lot of time management has to go into some different parts of your life, right? When things get busier. So time management is something that we've talked about in the past. We've also talked about money management. We have multiple episodes on budgeting, setting up your budget. Go back and listen to those if you have not already. There's some really good, just, universal truths in there that you should be implementing in your business. But today we are going to take it a little bit of a step further, I guess, and go beyond some of those basics and talk about the future, right?
Yes.
Tech is evolving, and that comes down to your money management as well. So we're going to talk about the future of agent money management today. Kelly, what's that all about? Let's get into it.
Dude, this is such a good topic. Oh man, I'm so guys. If you got 5-10 minutes here to spare, you can put it on 2 times speed. But be careful because I talk fast. That's like 3.5 or 4 times speed. So
you're like Chickmuck.
Yeah, exactly right. It'd be weird. I've actually listened to myself doing that a couple times, and it was really weird. So be careful on that. But this is such a good topic. Because here's why. Not only are we all running businesses, I don't care if you're at a brokerage and you're a single agent. I don't care if you're on a team, right? And a team has 50 agents and there's a split. It doesn't matter. You're running your own business, okay? I tell everyone on our team, the reason why you would join this team, one of the reasons why is to help you get from point A to point B faster. Everyone's point B is different. It looks different. So why you would join a team is to get that point B faster. Because if you're on a right team for you and what you're looking for, you will get there faster than being an individual agent. You just will. So I say it all the time because you're still your CEO of your own business. Now, most people get into real estate. I found this out over 20 years, the majority, because they want to actually become a real estate investor. Now, some people don't know what that means. They say, well, I want to flip houses on the side, which is not investing, but they might think that. And that sounds cool. So they get their real estate license and they realize, okay, I got to, help people buy and sell houses to make some money to be able to do some of these things. And then they want to hold property. Okay, cool. That's one of the reasons I love to do that. And it works out well because you are at the tip of the spear. You're at the forefront of seeing good deals potentially before they roll out to the marketplace, if you will, in some cases. And you just have knowledge in general. You're in it every single day, right? So it is a little easier to do that. So cool. Whether it's for running your business, whether it's for real estate investing, you have to have a budget. Now, we could do a whole podcast, like a whole series of podcasts just on budgeting, and I would try to make it as lighthearted and fun as possible. But a lot of people would just check out because it's boring. But it's important. Very important. So this is not going to be about budgeting. So spoiler alert, don't stop the podcast here. Listen to this. This is about the future of agent money management because if you want to run a business successfully, if you want to invest in real estate, you have to have the ability to control your not just revenue, but expenses. And too many times we talk about controlling your revenue, meaning go get some leads, go cold call some people, right? Because that generates revenue. Okay. But very little do we talk about what goes out the back door. It's all about what comes in the front door. And there should be as equal amount of conversations about how you maintain what goes out the back door as opposed to just everything being about the front door. So this is one of those conversations. Okay. Now, this is not a endorsement to say, oh my gosh, if you're not at Real Broker, you can't have you won't be successful in implementing something like this. But I'm telling you right now, the FinTech, financial technology, Fintech is a whole segment in Wall Street, right? That a lot of companies are involved with. The fintech segment and the technology that Real has and is continuing to roll out more iterations of, i.e., the Real wallet, is incredible for a lot of different reasons. Now, obviously, if you're Real, you have access to this technology. Every agent does. If you don't have access to this technology because you're not with Real, that's cool. It'd make your life easier if you were, I guess, right? But you can still implement a system very similar to this with just different tools and piecemealing some things together. Okay. So either way, it works. But you probably can't see on the screen here, but like right here, you can see
You
just a
can
little
see.
snippet of one of the pages of what the app looks like if you're with Real, the Real wallet. So we all know what Apple Wallet is. Okay. It's very similar. It acts as a bank. Real has partnered with a bank, is a regional bank that is into technology, that is makes it very easy for people to do business without walking to a physical branch. Okay, because that's the ethos of this type of bank. It's called Thread Bank, and they have now become like a bank, partnering with a bank that can do all the banking things that they maybe can't do because they're not a traditional bank, if you will. Okay, so when you get paid, your money can elect if you want. Now, if you still want a paper check from title company, you can elect for that. You don't have to do this. But if you want to make this life a little easier for yourself, right? As soon as you get paid, money instantaneously into your wallet. Okay. Now you can have auto rules. You probably saw auto deposit rule and all these rules right here. You can have rules set up to move that money elsewhere immediately. Okay, to your Wells Fargo, Chase, whatever account if you want. If you want to keep it in the wallet, awesome. And there will be some perks for that. We'll get to in just a second. But guys, this financial technology, this fintech is going to change the game. There's nothing like it in the real estate brokerage space currently. All right. You're paid, it goes in your wallet, and from there you can have auto rules that goes out, that sends money out or not. If you keep it in the wallet, it can then act as a management tool for you. Here's why. Have you ever read the book Profit First? Have you heard this book, Elizabeth?
I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, okay. This book is awesome, right? It's by Michael, I'm going to butcher his last name, Michael Malkowitz. And Profit First is a phenomenal concept. What it is saying is that your formula for running a business, okay, should be profit, or should be revenue minus profit equals expenses. That sounds funky, right? Because it's backwards from the traditional thinking. And what it does is it forces you to live, you have to have a budget, but live on 50, 60, 90% of your income, not 100% of it. That you, as the business owner, even if you're a business of one, should have your profit taken first so that you are paid. Okay. This will force you to live off of less of your income for all your expenses. That way you now are disciplined, because if you're able to do that, that's the fastest way to be able to invest. That's the fastest way to be able to put money to work. People talk about earning more income, and that's always great. You can't always turn that on like a faucet right away. Okay. But what you can turn off is the faucet of the leaky drip of the money going out the back door. Okay. Because we're not paying attention. And we're thinking, oh, it's just $5.99. No big deal. Okay. Well, if you take $5.99 times 20, that can add up pretty quick. Okay. Times 40, it adds up even quicker. But you think it's not that big of a deal. So this is a money management tool, which is really awesome. Now, if you don't have Real Wallet, that's cool. You can set this same system up in your normal bank account. Okay. By having money go and move to different accounts when it hits your main operating account after it's deposited. But here's the thing, guys. With most banks, they don't have a lot of auto money movement tools or options. With Real Wallet, you do. So, for example, you get paid a $10,000 commission check, which would be it's awesome, right? It's credible. Okay, it comes in. That's your income for whatever that closing. Okay, you can have these rules set up to where now you have another account set up. It's called taxes. And let's say you want 15% of any money that comes into your wallet to be moved immediately taxes. Why? Because if you don't, and it's in front of your hands and in your hands, you'll spend it, or you'll sit there and you'll look at it, right? In your account, and say, oh man, it feels so good and comfortable to have that money sitting in my account. Look how much money I have, my balance. Yeah, what's up?
All
And then,
false.
yeah. And it's dumb, because that's the worst thing you could have cash sitting in. Okay. Especially if there's a balance that literally you don't have to touch, which is great, but it's just sitting there. It looks great, but it's lazy cash. It's not moving. It's not helping you move the ball forward. Okay, in life, when it comes to having, your retirement, having money to come in passively or whatever it may be. Okay, so you move that immediately to taxes. You can have another account set up. Okay, another account set up that's maybe real estate investing. You can have another account set up that's maybe charity or giving, if that's something that you like to do. And the list goes on. The ideas could be immense, right? Michael in his book talks about the quarterly distribution to you as the owner should go out, right? Because you're a shareholder. Last time I checked, the General Electric, as first number name, business name comes to my mind, or maybe more modern here. How about Amazon? Amazon would say, "Hey, here's your distribution, Mr. Shareholder. Now you have $1,000 distribution, but you know what? Actually, you don't need it. We're just going to reinvest it back in the business." No, they give it to you, and the shareholder keeps it. So you as a shareholder of your business should keep it. So that's a whole other concept we can dive into later at a different time. But the point is, your fintech that is at your brokerage for real, if you're there, automatically does all this stuff for you. You don't have to do anything. It also integrates with QuickBooks. Okay, you want to do taxes, all your money comes into the wallet. Whatever goes in and out and moves around with the wallet automatically can go right into QuickBooks. It integrates in the cloud. Okay, right into it, which is phenomenal. Okay. Now,
Well, the integrations are huge, right?
huge, huge. Okay. Now, here's the other benefits that will come from Real Wallet, which also makes the technology so great. Is everyone with each account you get a debit card. So if you have a tax account, you have a debit card just for that tax account. So you can actually spend right out of it if you wanted to, or you can move it back into your main account and then spend out of that. Okay, either way. But you have a debit account for that, and you will have a debit account for your real estate investment account, for your giving account, whatever it may be. When you use your debit account, this is coming here shortly. There'll be a point system, just like if you had your Amex or your Visa, whatever, and you swipe it, they give you points for using a credit card, right? Or debit card, even in some cases. That's cool. And you can use those points for whatever, airlines, whatever, right? Well, when you do that, you can use those points that you will earn to offset brokerage fees. Every brokerage has fees. Every
Yep.
fee structure is a little bit different. But you can literally go buy your groceries at the grocery store because you're going to buy them anyways with something,
Hmm.
get some points, and those points, when they total up on the scale, could then offset some, if not all, of your brokerage fees so that you don't even have to pay your fees or splits or whatever it is.
Hmm.
How cool is that? And here's the thing. Someone goes, well, then how's the company going to maintain their profitability? They need the agent revenue. Well, of course they do, but here's how they can do it. Off the interchange fees. Now that is the owner of the card, if you will, that everyone's swiping using at Walmart and everywhere else, Target, they now get the interchange fees as opposed to giving them to the third party company. And those interchange fees will offset any loss of revenue from taking it from the agent.
From those
It's
points. Yeah.
that's my friends, that's what is called a win-win-win. And at Real, if you guys don't know, when you sell real estate, you earn stock. There's stock awards that you can earn just for selling real estate. For doing the job you're going to do anyways. So you are a equity owner of the company. As a stockholder, which you will get free stock for doing certain things, you will own part of the company. So if you want the stock to go up over the long term, right? Because you own part of it. Well, what will shareholders do? What will Wall Street do at one point in the future if this concept actually is adopted by the agents at Real? Because it's obviously only offered for those people. And they say, holy crap, this is working. No one else is doing this. And it's all automated in the back, and they own their own tech, so they can just pivot and add more and more and more iterations to this and better, 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 better. It's probably going to go up. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but if I'm making that bet, I'm making the bet on the side, the 50-50 side of yes, it will, as opposed to no, it won't. Okay.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. Also, you will have a line of credit. Okay. This is one of the iterations coming as well. You have a line of credit in which every agent will have a line of credit kind of underwritten in real time based upon your financial profile. So if you're doing a lot of deals, pending closings, pending escrows, and a lot of closings, you have revenue share maybe coming in. You have stock awards that are sitting that maybe haven't vested yet. These are all things they give you a line of credit because it is collateralized by those things. There's no paperwork. You don't have to go into a bank to fill out an application. There's nothing. You click two buttons based upon the offering they give you, and boom, boom, boom. That offering that you choose to take will be in your account, and now it's liquid in your Wells Fargo account or your wallet, wherever you want to do, and you can go spend it however you would like. Pretty cool. And so some agents might have an offering of $2,000 as line of credit. Some agents might have an offering of $400,000 as line of credit. And literally with two clicks of the button, it's already given to you. It's there sitting there if you want it. Now, do you have to pay interest on it like a normal HELOC or a line of credit? Of course you do, right? And it's going to be market based like 8%, 9%, whatever, right? But it's there for you if you need maybe you have a bad month or two. Your business expenses are still coming in. You need to pay them. Maybe you want to go pay for a down payment on a rental property. These are all things that you can do
To invest
just
in your
by,
business. Yeah.
yes, without having to worry about filling an application, having your credit score hit and all this stuff, right? And then there's your debt to income ratio good. Oh, you're self-employed. We need more money. We need more documents. Oh, you took too many write-offs on your 1040. Does this sound familiar, real estate agents? Too many write-offs, and so we can't really get you that big of a loan to go buy that rental house because even though you made some money, you took all these write-offs, and your AGI, adjusted gross income, is too low. Don't have to worry about any of that. If you're offered the line of credit, you can take as much of it as you would like. It's pretty cool. So there's a lot of things coming with this that aren't out yet, but there's a lot of it that already is there.
Yeah. And I think that the whole idea is so different
So different.
from how the industry has operated,
Yep.
for forever, right? So we know with new technology, things are going to shift and change, but this is a pretty big one when it comes to how you actually operate a business. So that's
Yep.
amazing. If anybody has any questions about, Real Wallet, about Real, or any other real estate question, literally anything, or football, like we talked about, Kelly loves it. Kelly, where can they reach you in chat?
Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, guys. Give me a follow there if you don't mind, but at Kelly Cook Homes or 480-227-2028. Some of you guys text me, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, we will see you all next week. Bye, Kelly.
See you, Elizabeth.